Hello, Huskies, and welcome to this new episode of Newscene.
I'm your host, Kay Mabla.
And I'm Christian Lee.
We've got a lot for you to see, so stay tuned.
To start things off, we had Newscene's Declan Ryan cover OPRF's annual Winter Showcase, Prisons of Winter. While there, we learned about the immense work and coordination required to perform a show of this caliber. Let's see what Declan had to say.
The Prisons concert is, kind of, I guess you can say, a compilation of music of different styles from different ensembles, designed to be seamless, meaning that there's no applause, that the minute you hear one piece end, the other one begins.
The music department of OPRF held its popular Prisms of Winter concert last week. The concert involves around 600 students, playing in ensembles of all sizes from different corners of the large auditorium.
There's all kinds of music in there. There's your standard traditional band and orchestra and choral music, but then there's a whole multitude of small ensembles that are all student-led and student-put together. And it really ranges in musical styles all the way around. So I think there's around 600 music students total that will be involved with this concert. So each one of the classes rehearses their own individual pieces on their own. Each large ensemble is given one piece that they're allowed to perform, and then they rehearse on their own, and then we have a final dress rehearsal, just the same as a musical or a play or any other kind of giant production that we put on here at the school.
But the concert isn't just about the music. The audience's gaze is directed from one group to another by colorful lights. The concert is full of spectacle. I asked the music teachers what part of the concert they were most excited for the audience to see.
The finale.
The finale.
Yeah. The finale.
This year we're doing Triumphal March from Aida by Verdi.
Cry every time.
It does.
Yeah.
You think like, all right, this is
Yeah.
going to be great, and then you get in it and you just start totally weeping.
OPRF senior Tommy Herner is a self-taught backyard blacksmith who provides custom, decorative, and usable metalwork. He has been a blacksmith for 5 years and plans to pursue it as a future career. Newscene's own O'Malley was there to see him make a bottle opener.
I'll warm it up again so it doesn't splutter. And we're just going to bring the sound back. Warm it up again, there's no point in working it cold. Cool that off, heat up the back again. So now depending on which way you want your scroll to face is going to depend on which way you want to bend it.
Even though the national election is well over, we had the opportunity to learn about local elections and their importance from congressional candidate Jeffrey Leaf during his campaign for the 7th District of Illinois. Let's see what he had to say.
This past March, I went in to vote in the primary, of which I was not even in the race at that point. I did pull a Republican ballot. I wanted to vote for John Kasich, so much for that. But nevertheless, when I got the ballot, there were countless seats which were running unopposed, and I was just thinking, this is really crazy. 3 things which are able to really solidify their power. One is despite demand from the voters, there are no term limits, so you could stay in office forever and ever. Secondly, there's something which is called gerrymandering, where, and look at the maps, they're drawn in such a way to accumulate the most voters who tend to vote one particular way. And by doing so, that's why in the 4th and in the 7th districts, those typically run unopposed because candidates know that statistically, there's almost no way to win. The third way which also happened with me, is that once somebody does enter the race, your nomination or your petitions can be challenged by the other party. There just are a lot of obstacles where people just do not want that type of the angst and the anger that's generated and the dishonesty when you set out with all good intentions and your motivations are good, but it's defeating. The generation that you guys are in, you're inundated constantly by information through the internet, through Facebook, through this and that, which may or may not be accurate, but is designed to rouse emotions. On the one hand, that's good. It's great to be passionate about a cause, but the number one thing that I would say, is read and learn. Try to read up and learn as much material as you can on any particular subject that you're passionate about.
Sadly, earlier this year, Elijah Sims, an OPRF senior, was shot and killed in the Austin neighborhood. We were able to conduct an interview with his mother, Sharita Galloway. Let's take a moment to honor him and see what she had to say.
My name is Sharita Galloway, and I am the mother of Elijah Sims. Elijah, as a person, he was a good kid. He was ambitious. He was full of life. He was a jokester. Feels really funny talking about my son in past tense. But he was a good person. I mean, he just wanted to live his life, and he enjoyed his job, and he touched a lot of people's lives that met him on a daily basis just from Pete's. He grew up in the Austin neighborhood on Washington and Central, and that's where he grew up at. He had a lot of friends over there. So even though we moved to Oak Park, it was still a difference because he wasn't raised over here in Oak Park. He still had like his friends that he'd been with since 1st and 2nd grade over there. My other son, his friend called me. That's how I found out. And I was able to talk to the detectives that was on the scene. At the time, I didn't know any details. It was like maybe 3 hours before I even found out where he was shot at. All I knew that 2 people were shot. One was shot in the head and one was shot in the back. I didn't know which one was my son. They even sent me to the wrong hospital. Nobody wants to talk. I don't understand it, and I'm trying to make some sense out of it, but I just can't. Put the guns down. Put the guns down. When you pick up those guns, you affect so many people's lives in so many different ways that you wouldn't even imagine. Just put the guns down. Everything don't have to be about violence. People need to sit down and try to talk like civilized individuals instead of picking up guns and shooting, because you're shooting innocent people.
I'm Christian Lee.
And I'm Kay Mabwa.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Newscene.
Make sure to check us out on our YouTube channel, Newscene OPRF, for more content. And remember, everybody has their ups and downs, but we wish you the best from all of us here at Newscene.